Hello, everyone, and welcome to our group and to this episode, to this content that you're getting here in our Limitless community. So our Limitless community really focuses on two main areas. One is going to be, the main one's going to be your business, and specifically a very specific kind of business where you are taking your expertise, what it is that you know about the world and your life, and you are sharing that with an audience, with your audience, to turn that into a business so you can monetize the information that you know. And we are utilizing all of the tools, the best tools from around the internet. So you're building a digital business to really thrive in your business and in your life. And so the second piece is really thriving in your life. While I know that you guys are business owners and I want you to thrive in that respect, I also see you as badass human beings who need to be fulfilled and happy and healthy and whole and all those things. And so in this space, in this tribe, in the Limitless tribe, what you're going to be finding is information, content, motivation, coaching, resources, tools to help you strategize around your business, your digital business, and your life. So super excited to be here. And what should you expect from this piece of content right here? So what you're going to see more and more is going to be content around how to thrive online in terms of your business. And so here, what you're catching is a snippet, well, more than a snippet, you're getting a big chunk of a conversation that I was having with my team, with my Zero to Profit Blueprint team. So these are individuals, professionals, people who are wanting to create their life and turn it into a masterpiece through the creation of an online business, and specifically through monetizing their content. So we have people who are doctors, we have podiatrists, we have people who are, UC Berkeley professors who are writing books. We have MMA gym owners, like someone who's owned their gym for 25 years. We have people who are just starting, they don't know anything about business. We have people who have been in business for 25 years. So it's really people who are spanning all kinds of backgrounds in terms of professional industry, ages, like literally all the backgrounds. But the thing that brings us together is that we are utilizing our content and our life experiences to build a digital business, so then we can create the life of our dreams and we can reach financial freedom and abundance and give back and create impact and all the things. And so what you're going to be catching here is a piece of one of our weekly check-ins. So this is part of our Zero to Profit Blueprint online course and pilot. So if you are interested in monetizing your knowledge, your expertise, you definitely want to be part of this pilot. You definitely want to be part of this online course and experience. And it includes actual hands-on coaching. So as you guys are going to be listening to some pieces of it, people are checking in and talking about their progress in terms of their business. And we have some people getting their first customers and they weren't even looking for customers. So it's super exciting. So without further ado, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the content. You're going to hear just a little bit in terms of some check-ins, and then you're going to hear Cameron, a friend of mine who I've known for years, talk about the best practices in SEO. So that's coming your way. Super excited to be sharing that with you. Again, if you want to join us, if you want to be part of our community, make sure to join Zero to Profit Blueprint. There is a way that you can access the content, or you can be part of the actual, group coaching experience. There's two ways to participate. So if you have any questions, reach out to me at Luz at soulonfireacademy.com. And let's go ahead and get started. So what you're going to hear is a recording from our session. And again, we do these weekly. And so super excited to be sharing this with you guys. Okay, let's do this.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited about becoming an expert on videos and podcasts and being like Oprah, have my own Super Soul Sunday.
I love it. That's what we're building here. All the future Oprahs of the world. Love it.
Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. All right, Tracy.
So I got the camera on the tripod, so I want to start doing the before photos and video of walking, like before foot stuff. I got to figure out how to edit videos. The website domain that you had sent me some stuff on that, trying to figure out the domain. And then I was talking to a social worker at work, and she was asking what I was doing, and I told her about like the flat feet stuff. And she said her dad's a marathon runner, even though he's older and retired, and he's always had plantar fasciitis and flat feet issues, and he had no idea that there was something that she could do to fix it. And she's like, for Christmas I want to do something really special for him, so is there a way that I can have you, look at him and maybe start him on some exercises and come up with a price, and we'll figure out, what
Oh, your first client!
so she wants her dad doing it. So now I'm like, I gotta figure out price points and what to offer him. Then I said I'll eventually be having a course on there that he can do more stuff with. And she was so excited to be able to offer that to her dad for Christmas or something.
That's so cool! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you guys to start sharing your success stories of your first clients and what that's going like. So we're having some great conversations. That's amazing. Great job, Trace. So without further ado, let's introduce Cameron. So I met Cameron years ago. We met playing on, it was kickball, right?
Yes, it was, yeah.
It was so many years ago. So we were on the same kickball team. And we've been in touch, and then I learned that Cameron was an SEO expert, and we've had SEO conversations. And Cameron actually, his focus is SEO. So that's what that's his world. That's what he does. He's a full stack online marketer with an expertise in SEO, and he has a blog about SEO with over 300 readers per day. Cameron, so excited to have you, and thank you for joining us and answering some of our SEO questions. How's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. We'll have to actually do a catch up, just you and me. So guys, I sent Cameron a bunch of questions, and I had posted in our Facebook group, and then I also posted just to see what the top questions would be in terms of business owners from our industry, the online information industry. And so I sent Cameron a list of questions, and he knows that you guys are starting your businesses. And so while you guys can ask him super advanced SEO questions, he'll be able to answer them. I thought it would be a good idea for him to get us started at the beginning. Like what we're going to start at the very, very beginning. What is SEO? Why should a business owner, a small business owner who's starting? And so Cameron, just so you know, what we are doing here together is everyone is building a business that is focused around an information product or service. So they are going to be doing, they have an expertise, and they are going to be monetizing that expertise through online products and services. And so for that kind of entrepreneur, can you explain the relevancy? I mean, our whole entire world is online, or it's supplemented greatly by the online presence. So tell us why SEO is important to people like us.
Yeah, sure. So essentially, for those who might not even know what it is, essentially what it is optimizing your content to actually rank for stuff that people are searching for. And arguably too, it's to figuring out organic algorithms in order to get yourself more views and exposure. It could be as broad as that. And essentially what it comes down to is it's one of I believe it's a great way to promote anything, because you catch the people that are actually looking for what you're doing in that moment, and it's received usually pretty well. So for example, if you have a course on flipping houses or something like that, you could have an article that you can rank on Google for how to flip houses. So when people search on Google how to flip houses, those are obviously your ideal clients to buy your course. they'll come to your article, and then you can show them how to do it and be like, hey, you know, if you want to learn more about this, like, opt into this webinar or something like that. And then from there, have like an email funnel to just funnel them to buy something. So it's actually a very, and the thing about it is also that it's all free traffic. So it's pretty profitable. It's also pretty scalable. You can actually get a lot of traffic through it if you go for terms that like have a lot of search volume and stuff like that. And I think it also helps you get like a product market fit. Whereas, you know, if like people are searching to do certain things online, then they're probably willing, you know, they might be willing to also buy a product around how to do that thing. If there's like a lot of people searching something, you know, so you can kind of see like there's a product market fit, like there's a need for that information.
So I want to jump in with a couple of questions. Number one is, what kind of information can be ranked? So we have, of course, written information, we have video. So what kind of, so all of the people here are creating information businesses. What kind of information is searchable? Is it mostly, or is it only going to be written information and like video information, or are there other types of information that you could be ranking in that we don't know about?
Well, actually, like pretty much any kind of media is searchable. So Google, you know, they index content and videos with YouTube, but then they also index images. And there's also, you know, like podcasts, there's search functionalities on like Spotify or whatever, wherever you're getting your podcast, where people are looking for, you know, content relevant to what they want. And also, if they're interested in something, you can, if you're, in a way, if you're gaming or not gaming, but doing well with the organic algorithm, you'll also be shown in related videos or related content and things like that on some of the platforms.
And so how do you make sure, what are the best practices to make sure that you are one of, so first of all, how do you find the right keywords? And then how do you make sure that you rank at the top of your space? So say here we have a podiatrist, we have someone, and that's why, guys, it's really important for you to define exactly the space where you're playing. We have someone who is going to be in the health career space. We have someone who's going to be either a sexiness expert, confidence expert. We have someone who has an MMA gym. Tony, I'm still like, what are we calling you, Tony?
Well, if I knew that, I would tell you. That's what we're doing, right? No, but it's people and property. Those, you know, so consulting, coaching, but I do a lot of real estate work too.
Great. Okay. So given that sort of space, and we also have someone who is in food, giving information about how you can, you know, best plan healthily and eat healthily and joyfully. So given these sort of spaces, what recommendations would you have for them in terms of how should they be thinking about keywords, and where should they be paying attention? Are they paying attention in terms of their keywords on their website, on their blog, you know, on YouTube? Like, where do they need to be putting information? And then beyond what keywords, how do they ensure that they're ranking at the top of their space for their area?
Okay, it's a good question. Yeah, so it's kind of difficult to answer like in a really quick way, but I'm gonna try to do it. Basically, there's different kinds of keyword intent. So if someone, for example, is searching like how to flip a house, then they're searching for like a how-to article, right? If they're searching for like podiatrist near me or something, then they're trying to like hire a podiatrist, for example. So, and the way to find these keywords is there's a few different ways you can do it. Like one way is to like there's tools that you can put your competitors in and see like which keywords that they're ranking for, and then you can try to make content around similar topics.
Are there any tools that come to mind that you would recommend?
Yeah, so you can use Ahrefs or SEMrush. Those are both paid. If you want like a free one, I'm not sure how well it works, because I don't use it that often, but Uber Suggest is one that I think has that functionality too. So you can put your competitors' like website in there, and you can see like what keywords they're ranked for, and then you can get an idea of like what you want to rank for. But you want to be thinking about like when someone searches for that keyword, like what is their goal? Like what are they trying to find? Like what's their intent? And then you provide with like the intent that they have, and then you can like direct them, you know, to some controllable asset like an email list or a Facebook group or something like that. And probably the easier way to do it is to do it with YouTube, because it's you don't have to deal with like managing a website, which I know can be difficult for some people if they're just starting out with this type of stuff.
So how would you do it on YouTube?
So on YouTube, like you can get this plugin that's free. It's a Chrome extension, and I think Firefox has it too. It's called Keywords Everywhere.
Keywords Everywhere. Okay.
Yeah, Keywords Everywhere, and then it will show you like keyword search volumes for different things, and you can see like you can type certain keywords in and see if like they autocomplete. And when they autocomplete, it's like there's a chance of like there's some people have searched that before. That's why that's why like Google or YouTube is trying to autocomplete it for you. And so like what the search volume is, but you don't only want to like go after stuff that has a lot of search volume, because you if it's really competitive, you can't really rank for it, or it's very difficult to rank for. So for example, like how to lose weight or something. So really, you know, it's probably searched a lot, and it probably is really profitable because you can like push some kind of supplement or something like that. But the problem with it is that like everybody has a video about that, or like an article about that.
So how do you find your niche within, say, YouTube, or within your options of keywords? Is there, so say on not on YouTube, on Instagram, the way that I think about it is you're looking for hashtag groups that are between, you know, 10,000, 50,000 to 100 to 250,000. And I think that that's a sort of like SEO search. You're searching for the volume of a keyword. How do you figure out what the right size or the right volume is using the vehicle of YouTube?
So on YouTube, you can actually like search the keyword and then just see like the few people on top, like how many views they actually have. So you can kind of get an idea of the volume. But that being said, it's also like they could be getting traffic from other sources and stuff like that. So it's not like 100% like what the search volume is. But what you want to do is check the competition by actually looking to see how many people have a video about that exact topic, the keyword you're thinking about doing. And like if nobody's covering it, then that's perfect. You could probably rank number one for that with like a good video. But if it's like covered by like 30 people, and then it's also like all of those 30 people have like really big channels and like really good videos and stuff like that that get a lot of engagement. But actually on YouTube, the main ranking factors, I believe, are engagement based. So, you know, how many comments your video is getting, what's the click-through rate of your video, which essentially is like when people do a search, like how many people are like clicking your video as opposed to other videos. And like watch time, like what's the percentage of, you know, how long your video is versus how much is the average that people have watched of it. Things like that. They're all factors that tells YouTube, oh, people like this video or they believe it's relevant for this search, so we need to like rank it higher and give it more. That's actually going to get you shown and related to, and just go more often. They see like, oh, people really engage with this, so let's show it to other people who are related to these people who also like it. And YouTube has a little bit more of that aspect of it versus like Google, which is like almost more purely just search.
So more of like the related and the tying information to other information.
Yeah, and also like getting shown in people's feeds and stuff like that.
So that's really, right. Yeah.
SEO is figuring out organic algorithms to see like how can we get shown more in general.
So the way that I think about it, and the way that I've kind of shared with these guys, is I almost see the social media platforms as being other platforms for SEO in sort of different ways. So like I said, some of my market research is done in Instagram to see how big a hashtag group is. Usually the only way to kind of figure out this sort of information was through a regular Google search. And then we have YouTube. Would you say that this concept of search engine optimization, do you think it's being expanded into other spaces that we traditionally haven't thought about in terms of SEO? Say, like hashtag groups and like Pinterest. Pinterest is a search engine optimization platform, really, because it's where you go to search for stuff. So what are your thoughts about like non-traditional ways of thinking about SEO and getting your content to rank for your business in the places where your customers are?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a lot of people just think about just like Google when they think about SEO, but it is definitely more than that. I think what a lot of bloggers are utilizing, like the main 3 platforms when you think of SEO, is like Google, YouTube, and Pinterest. And Pinterest is I don't know that much about it honestly, but I think it does well in certain niches.
Yeah.
But the great thing about SEO, the other great thing about it, is that basically a lot of it is like one and done type thing, where if you just put up the videos, I know you do a lot of Facebook, so you probably know this. Like Facebook it's almost like a treadmill where you put up content and then you have to keep putting up more content.
Yes.
But with YouTube and Google, so if I have an article that's ranked number 1 for how to flip houses, people search that every day, so they're just like, they search it, my article's there for years and years, until it might get stale, and then eventually Google will, put someone else up there, or if competitors come. But in general, it's a cool thing where you just have this lead generation machine that just people are reading your stuff, and you don't really have to do much other than like expand into new keywords. So basically what you would do to promote like any business is like find like, I would say like at least 30-40 keywords, and then just make content around those keywords. And you want to pick the keywords based on like your product and like what your ideal customer might be searching for, and then basically try to get those people into like an email funnel, and then they convert them into like a sale from there. And it just, a lot of people do this, and it works pretty well, generally speaking. Beyond just marketing though, you need to have like, ideally you have the product market fit before you do that, because really this just kind of like amplifies. I mean, if you don't have a product market fit, it's like you're kind of fighting an uphill battle if you just throw marketing on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Given, I love that analogy of Facebook, and a lot of social media is like a treadmill. You're just creating content, and it's not sort of content that sticks and grows. And we talked about this during our BFM I don't know if you guys caught that class or like rewatched it. We talked about it during that class that, so with YouTube and with blog posts, with this kind of information, if you create it and if it's high quality and if it's solving a problem, it'll grow. And rather than be forgotten and just sort of like it was yesterday something, it can actually continue to gain you followers and potential clients. And so, Cameron, what would you say in terms of when you're thinking about, I don't even know what you would call that sort of content that grows, content that isn't on the treadmill, but you know, it stays and
it's evergreen in a way, is
yeah.
what people say.
Yeah. So say with evergreen, let's call it hot content, hot evergreen content. What would you say are the best practices in terms of creating this content? Given that this content can grow, it sounds like, one, you actually have to do your research really well. Two, you have to do high quality. You're not going to create a crappy asset. You have to create an asset that actually is high quality and solving a real problem for your potential customer. So in terms of when they're creating this hot evergreen content, what would your recommendations or best practices be in terms of, I mean, because this is not going to be the sort of stuff that you just create and, you know, you just get it out there. You should be taking some time, right, and creating it. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, at the same time, you still want to make a decent volume of content too, so you can actually get a lot of different assets out there. But for example, like I have blog posts that, you know, I've written like last year that still rank and get like 500 views a week or something like that, readers a week. So it's just like, it's really what it's about is like solving the people's problem of whatever they're typing into Google, or whatever search engine. So they're typing something in, they're trying to like solve some sort of problem or get some sort of information. So you want like just the best person to like solve that for them, give them all the information they need, make it really easily digestible, things like that. And that's going to help you like stay up there because, you know, people engage with your content well. Like they ask the question and then you just like provided something that like directly answered their question.
Got it. So you mentioned something that I thought was interesting. You said you want to have a decent amount of volume. What would you call enough volume? Are we talking about like 5 blog posts, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, 2,000? Like when is enough content that you've created? Are you good with 20 really badass blog posts on your website that solve the problem and having, you know, that be repurposed into a video? Or are we talking about hundreds to thousands? What is a healthy amount of volume?
I would probably say at least like 40 or 50 pieces of content, whether that be video or articles for most people, because it depends on the keywords, right? So some keywords have more search volume than others, but when you talk about more search volume, you're generally talking about also more competition because like more people want those keywords. So for most people, when they're just starting out, they're going after like low competition keywords, which means they're also going after like lower search keywords. So then they need more content to like rank for all those keywords, for all different kinds of keywords, if that makes sense. But so maybe if like going back to like the flipping houses example, like the chances of you ranking for like how to flip houses is probably competitive. So you would more likely do something like, I don't know, like how to flip houses with no financing or something, like something else that they're searching that's like a little bit, it's called a long tail keyword where it's like more specific usually. And so it's like lower competition for it because like, you know, it's not as broad as just how to flip houses. It's more specific, so less people are making content on it usually.
Awesome. So then what that means is, so let's talk about how you get ranked. So suppose I create two pieces of content. One, I create a blog post, and then I also create a YouTube video. And suppose it's for something that is sort of in the hot spot in terms of people finding it. It's, a hot topic, but not too hot. I've done the long tail keyword. So what do I need to do? Where does the written content need to live? Does it need to live on my website? Does it live on Medium? Does it live on all the things? Where does the written content live? And what are the best practices that I need to follow in terms of this written content? As I write a post, do I need to attach keywords to the post, tags? What do I need to do to make sure that I'm actually ranking? Or do I just write the post and Google does its thing? And then the same thing for video content. So suppose I make a badass video about, flipping houses, and I put it on YouTube and I call it Flipping Houses. Is that going to get the job done?
So basically what you want to do is like make your title, like let's just first start with YouTube. You want to make your title like the keyword. So if like your main keyword was just how to flip houses, the title of your video should just be how to flip houses. And then, or something like that, but you can add like some like, thing at the end to make it more click worthy too, or whatever, like how to flip houses like easily or something, like today or something, I don't know, whatever. But basically you want the keyword in your title ideally, and then you also want it in your tag. And then you also want it in your description, your video description. So basically you're telling Google or YouTube, you're saying, look, this video is about this. It's obviously in the title, it's in the description, and it's in the tag. So
Got it.
Look, it's about this topic. So they know, like, they get an idea of like where to put this video, like who to show it to and stuff. But that doesn't mean they're going to show it to those people. It just means they understand what it's about, and then basically they're going to decide who to show based on, when someone does that search, based on a variety of ranking factors, which usually have to do with engagement on YouTube. Let's say like a written blog post, you want to just have it in your title tag. You want to have like the keyword. And I know some people might not know what a title tag is, but basically it's like a tag that if you do like a search on Google, you'll see like there's like the link, like the blue text. That's called the title tag. So it's actually a ranking factor. So you want to put the main keyword in there. And then you obviously want the keyword like in your article. And also like in one or two of the heading tags. And also with articles, you want to have like long articles ideally, like because they generally rank better. So like 1,500 words, 2,000 words, something like that. What you can do is you can look at what the competition is doing, and kind of like outdo their word count by a little bit. Generally a good idea.
Okay.
And then the other factor is it's not just, again, it's the same thing. It's not just about like, because if I publish one article on Forbes.com, then it's about business, and I publish the same article on like my own blog, chances are the article like on Forbes is gonna crush it, and the other one might not like do anything, because like the authority of your site and just like the authority of your brand and things like that, it makes a big difference on like who they want to rank in terms of Google. So and also with Google is it usually takes some time to actually rank. You'll see that like the articles will slowly go up over time, like over 6 to 8 months or something like that. So that's also something helpful to know, because some people think that it's not doing anything or not working or whatever. One way you can kind of hack this is by like publishing the article on Medium. It has more authority than like your own domain for most people. So it's gonna like in a lot of cases it's going to rank more easily.
So something that I've done in the past is I have taken like a newsletter. And guys, this is what we've talked about in terms of repurposing, right? So I'll have a newsletter post. Newsletters are not going to rank, guys. It's only your people who are receiving this amazing content. So what I do is, if it's especially great content, it'll be in the newsletter. Then I put it in my blog. And then I'll also put it in Medium. So I'm literally, and then sometimes I might put it on like social media as well, because you want your content that you created to be reached by the right people who are looking for your content as much as possible. So do you have any thoughts about is there any drawback to taking some content that I created that's good content and putting it everywhere?
So one thing is that, like if you're doing like two forms of written content, like Google's gonna actually like choose one of those to rank, and usually it's like whichever one they index first, and then they're gonna like bundle the other one.
What do you mean by bundle?
Well, what I mean is they're just like only gonna show one of them.
One, okay. That's
yeah,
good
then
to
they're gonna filter the other one out of search usually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, but like if the content didn't initially have like a keyword it was targeting, then at least with Google it probably won't do much. It's just like because if you make something about a topic that like nobody is searching, then like nobody is gonna like find it. You know what I mean? So the main thing with SEO is starting with the research, finding the topic that people are looking for, and then making content about that. And like again, it's part of it is like it's a product market fit, because you can literally see what your customers are searching, and then you can make the exact content that they want to see. And then Google and YouTube are going to show you more often because people search those things more often, and therefore, people are going to find it.
And so again, the best way to know the questions that your people are asking about your topic is going to be, if you wanted a free resource, Uber Suggest, correct? Are there any other ways to know what are questions that people that are looking for your services or have questions around your industry or your space, what are other ways to find out what questions are asking about your business?
Yeah, so another good way is just to get the keywords everywhere plugin, like I mentioned before, and just like start kind of searching some stuff that you think people are going to be looking for, and just see what like Google like autocomplete, and like it also show you like search volumes in that tool. So it'll show you like how many searches per month this keyword has, how many searches per month that keyword has. They're just estimates, but you get an idea of like what people are looking for. And so, but again, it's not just about search volume. It's also about then going and like analyzing the competition, which on YouTube is a little bit easier. Like I said, you just basically see how many people have a video about that topic, and then how good those videos are and how authoritative they are. It would be kind of similar on Google, but on Google, like things like links and stuff play like a bigger role, which you can't always see from your research, but you can kind of tell if there's like big websites that have content that's exactly about that topic and the content's good, then it might be competitive. What you can do is do this search called you put all in title, and then you put colon, and then you put in the keyword, and then so you can see how many posts are on Google that have like those words in the title tag, so you can see like how much competition you have, like direct competitors, and then basically look at how authoritative those competitors are and how good the content is. It's pretty similar actually in a way. to how you would do it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then let's talk about, so you mentioned links. Can you talk about why you should be linking your content within your website?
Yeah, so one way that Google judges like which content to rank over other content and which websites to give authority is based off of like backlinks. So if people are like linking to that site, and they're like good websites that are linking to this other website, then it's kind of like a vote saying, oh, this site is good, this content is good. So like Google's gonna see that and then like give authority to that site. It's also something though that if you cheat, some people like, it's common that people try to cheat like links in order to rank higher. But what happens is you can get a penalty for that. So there's like algorithm penalties that Google has where if you try to game the algorithm, they'll actually penalize you. And yeah, so you want to try to, generally speaking, you want to try to play by the rules. There are people that go out there and they do what's called black hat SEO, which is basically like you basically just try to game whatever you can and like ignore like the rules of Google. And you know, there's people that do that even successfully and stuff like that. Because there is money to be made when you rank into the top of search engines. I mean, you're literally just basically what it is you're getting in front of people literally who want to do your thing. Like the most ideal example is like local businesses. Like if people search like plumber near me, you know, like they definitely want to like hire a plumber at that moment. Like they're just gonna, you know, if you have good reviews and whatever, they're just gonna call you right there. And you know, Yelp is also a search engine too. You know, people search, like all kinds of stuff on there, and you know, they hire people right then and there. So this stuff is valuable to the point where some keywords, you know, people pay like $80-90 a click just to have their. What you can do is you can pay for ads to be put at the top of like the search engine. Basically, instead of doing SEO, you just pay Google and they put you at the top. But you know, people pay a lot of money for that. It depends on the keyword. For a lot of keywords, like how-to keywords, it's probably cheap. It's probably only a few, you know, like 10-20 cents a click. So if you can figure out how to get ads to work, that's also another strategy that you can do with search engines too. And the benefit of that versus like Facebook ads or something like that is that you literally know that those people already want that thing, and it's very timely. It's like literally they search that thing at that exact second. And you know, they're generally speaking, in my experience, it gets received much better than trying to show something in front of someone that like is busy or like doesn't necessarily want to see it, you know.
And then you only pay if they actually click on it.
Yeah, it's pay per click essentially is what it's called. And the cost per click is like an auction system. So if a lot of people like want this keyword, like it's really valuable, then the bid is higher for it. But if like not a lot of people are targeting that keyword, then you can get the keyword for like 10-20 cents. And you can actually do the same thing on YouTube. And actually this is like a really good opportunity right now. Is like if I was gonna do like, I keep going back to this example, but it's easy right now. The flipping houses example, I would make a video on YouTube just be how to flip houses, and then I would just run a YouTube ad that anytime someone searches how to flip houses, it would put my video at the top, at least just to start it out. And it's usually like a couple cents a click or something like that. That's like 10 cents a click, because it's kind of underpriced right now. Not a lot of people doing that.
Yeah.
And then it's valuable because it's keyword targeted traffic.
Mm-hmm. So it's something that's worthwhile for you to learn about. Awesome. So I know that we're running up on time. Do you guys have any pressing questions or questions that you're thinking about in terms of your business or SEO that you'd like to ask Cameron? And again, Cameron, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask about with books, because that's one of the things I'll have. Any advice? This will probably be more of a self-published book rather than through a publisher. But any advice on how to have a book, in addition to the things you've already said, which makes sense, but anything unique about a book?
One thing that probably would be is that I'm assuming you're gonna like sell it through Amazon or something.
Yep.
Yeah. So ideally, it's a little bit different with books because people do search for like trying to find new books, but it's not as much like keyword based. But you want to make sure that you're showing up like on Amazon really well when people are searching under your category and stuff like that. I don't have a ton of experience with books. I've never really sold a book, so but mainly what I would do is I would find topics that are around your book on Google and YouTube, and then create content around it and be like, and then in your videos or your content, be like, hey, I also have this book. Go buy it here on Amazon.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've got a question. I've got a MMA gym in Aurora, Illinois. It's the second biggest city in Illinois after Chicago. So we've done keywords at the very bottom: MMA Aurora, boxing Aurora, jiu-jitsu Aurora, workout Aurora, lose weight Aurora. Same with Naperville, which is a big town next to us. Our blogs, we put the keywords there. Somebody wins a fight, then it will say he trains MMA in Aurora. This, we'll put the words again. And in doing that, in Aurora, we're the top 5 or 6 spots, depends, which is fantastic. But Naperville, I've given that equal attention, and we're way down below people. We're doing Aurora, Naperville, but we're getting killed in Naperville, but we're dominating Aurora. Do you have any suggestions?
So are you talking about Google Maps, or are you talking about like the organic search results?
Organic search results. We did pay-per-click in the beginning until we got it growing up organically.
Okay.
But we used to be like number 1 and 2 in the other town, and then some other gyms moved in there and passed us somehow. Not with pay-per-click, but somehow they got above there.
Okay. You mean, okay, so I think I know what you mean. Basically, at least with Google Maps, it depends a lot where the address is of your business to where it allows you to rank. But with organic, you should be able to rank in Naperville. I'm assuming the people that are ranked above you are actually in Naperville.
Yes.
So they have like a little bit more local relevancy there. But as far as ranking in Naperville, I wouldn't try to do it with like every page of your site. So what I would do is I would make one page that's targeted at like MMA gym Naperville, and then like use that, like put like 1,000 words of content on that page, and use only that one page to rank for that keyword. Because what happens is if you try to do it with all the pages, you kind of in a way you kind of cannibalize yourself, because Google doesn't know which one to use to like rank. You know what I mean? I mean, they end up picking the one that's most relevant and like authoritative, but you kind of want to make that clear. So each page should have like different keywords that it's trying to target, instead of trying to target all the keywords with one page. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. And you could target like related keywords. So you could make one page just generally about Naperville, but it has everything like boxing, MMA, et cetera, on one page. So it's like your domain.com/Naperville or something like that, and make that page specifically about that. Put like 1,000 words of content, put stuff like that, and make it good, optimized well on page. I think that'll help you, because it sounds like you're just like putting them in different blog posts and stuff like that.
Correct. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Any other questions, guys?
What's the difference between on-page SEO and off-page SEO?
So on-page SEO is like actually on your site. So it's like the actual content, your title tags, stuff like that, like your interlink feed. Off-page SEO is like stuff that you don't see on the site. So that would be things like the backlinks that are pointing to your site, the like social signals, etc.
Excellent. Thank you.
And then what's your blog that that we could follow?
Yeah, so keywordsheaven.com.
Keywords Heaven. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we have some keyword tools too for local, and some other we have a long tail keyword tool that can help you too.
Awesome. So Cameron, if people wanted to be in touch with you, learn more about what you do, is that the best way to learn more about the stuff that you do?
Yeah, that's probably, as far as at least with the digital marketing stuff, that's good.
All right. So Keywords Heaven. All right. So but we're at time. So there were just two last questions. If you could answer them in like a minute for these two questions that were asked, that'd be awesome. So one question was, when is too much too much? The minimum number of words in a product description, and how many keywords and internal links in one description. So basically, like when do you go overboard on SEOing?
Yeah, so I read that comment. I think honestly that was just a little bit too specific of a question. You shouldn't think about it like that. Like, how many times do I put the keyword, stuff like that. It's not as important as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I would mostly just focus on finding keywords that are low competition, have search volume, and then publishing content around those.
Awesome.
Okay, next.
Awesome. Great answer. And then the last question is it worth it for coaches and consultants due to the cost of relevant keywords? And do people really Google my business type? How do I find out if people are even looking for my kind of business on the internet? I think we sort of talked about that.
So I kind of get what they're saying. You can use keywords everywhere to see if they're searching for keywords around your business. Almost in any business, there is search volume around it. And if there's not search volume around it, I don't know, you might want to consider not doing it, because it sounds like because like nobody's really looking for it. But
yeah.
I mean, that being said, it could be something like really new or really, I don't know, that eventually will have search volume and get traction, but I don't know.
Say for me, like when we tried looking for online information business or information, like online information, online knowledge business, like nothing, crickets, like no one is searching for an online information business or coach or anything. So then that totally told me that I need to totally rethink how I talk about my business, because no one's looking for an online information business coach.
It also, that's a good point also at SEO, is it kind of, even the same business, people refer to it in different ways.
Yep.
Like people search for it in different ways. So it can help you with your delivery if you are using the words that your audience would use to find you.
Yes. Perfect. All right. And then there was the how to dramatically improve your CPC. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, so that is basically about Google Ads, it sounds like. And in that case, it's not really SEO, but what you would do is optimize your quality score. So if you have a high like relevancy score, basically, to whatever the searcher is searching in your ad is, and people like your ad, like they're engaging with your ad, kind of like organic, it's going to allow you to pay less for the ads than someone else who, once people click their ads, they have a bad experience. That's true not only on Google, but like, for example, on Facebook ads and pretty much any ad platform. If people like your ads, then you're able to get a cheaper cost per click.
What? Guys, this is why copy is important and why you have to do your homework. Okay, so if you do your homework well, you get it cheaper. That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, if you have good engagement, then yeah, because the ultimate goal of like Google and Facebook is they don't want to just show ads that nobody likes. They want to show content that people like, even if it's paid. So they'll give you a little bit of a preference if you do that.
That's awesome. That was super helpful. And then the last one was how to organize and optimize traffic from visitors of different nations.
Yeah, so I don't do that much international SEO, honestly, but I think what you would do is you would like translate your content to a different language, and there's different ways to do that. You can make a subdomain that's only about like a specific language, but I don't want to get into too much detail about this because I honestly haven't done this myself.
Awesome. All right. Well, Cameron, thank you so much for answering all of our questions. Really appreciate it. Can we give him a round of applause? Thank you so much. And so that was super, super helpful. So to be in touch with you, people can go to Keywords Heaven.
Yeah, keywordsheaven.com, or you can find me on Facebook, Cameron Parsinajad.
Or if you want to play kickball, you can join and you can find them on the field.
Yeah, I'm not into that anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, same here. That was a while ago. Well, Cameron, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And guys, I'll stick around for any other questions you guys have about class, but can we just give a thank you to Cameron for all of his answers and his awesome time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Bye, Cameron.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and wrap up. I do have very, very quickly, I'll answer some questions that you guys asked last week, and then I'll do the long answers on Facebook. So there's a question between, so last week we discussed starting a business in hot markets. What if the market has strong potential but isn't really created or mature yet? The short answer is you're going uphill. And do you want to have more friction? It's not that you can't do it. You can do it. It's just harder to be the first one. So is that a fight that you're wanting to take on? The next question was, does Kajabi have the functionality to replace Constant Contact? So Kajabi and Constant Contact are a little bit hard to compare. It's easier to compare, say, a Constant Contact versus a MailChimp. Here's what I'll say, the fast answer around Kajabi and Constant Contact. Constant Contact is basically an alternative to MailChimp. What you guys will hear is that here, everyone, well, I'm going to recommend for you guys to use MailChimp in terms of your email marketing like service. And while if you do have Kajabi for hosting your courses and your information products and all of that stuff, you can do email marketing. It is going to be missing a lot of, remember, so something like MailChimp and Constant Contact were created to be email marketing services. That's why they were created. And so a Kajabi, while you're going to be able to contact your people, it's just going to have less in terms of reporting, less of a lot of the things that you are going to have access to in either of them. And between Constant Contact and MailChimp, I would say go with MailChimp. And if you've been around Business Fundamentals Monthly, you know that I'm going to encourage you guys to use MailChimp. A lot of the people who are like the biggest names in the business world in any kind of industry, they're still using MailChimp. and they're doing so for a reason. So if you're thinking of getting up your communications with MailChimp, you have 3 lists that you are able to create. And I think it's something like up to, I think it's a lot of emails that you can send and people that you can have on. So you start for free. And it also just has a lot more reporting, and it's really easy to use, and it's a prettier interface. So the way that I use Kajabi is I use Kajabi for communications that have to do with products. The next question is Kajabi a great platform to build a basic website in? Yes, you can build a great basic website on Kajabi. Again, it's not, Kajabi is a multi-purpose. It's kind of like one of those Swiss Army tools. It can do a lot of things, and I think it's really meant to host your online courses. It is an incredible resource to be able to host your online information products, especially something like a course, a membership program. But was it created as to be as helpful and robust as any of the tools that are out there for websites? No. And so can you build a basic website? Absolutely. You definitely build a basic website. My recommendation is going to be build either, if you're doing this yourself and you don't know how to do design, and you're just it's too much, build it on Weebly. And if you do have help and you're paying someone, eventually all of us are going to have to switch over into WordPress. So you're going to have to end up on WordPress. And then the other great thing about WordPress is you own your website. If Kajabi went away, if something happened to Kajabi, if Kajabi decided they're going to erase all their prices, you wouldn't be fucked, basically. So that is a good consideration for you to not have your website on Kajabi. What are Tony Robbins' demographics? What's the ratio of female to male at live events and products? I don't know what that is. You would have to do some research. I don't know if the Tony Robbins Institute shares that kind of research. I think you would have to be on the inside. And there's some ways. So what you can actually do is, if you started only advertising and engaging with the Tony Robbins demographic, which you can do through Facebook, then you can start studying the engagement that those people, that audience is having with you. And through studying that engagement, you could have a better understanding of who is engaging with that sort of content, which is basically you are utilizing the audience that he's already built. And so that's something that you can do, and you can have some insights doing that. But I don't know what exactly his demographics are. And then the last question was, what's the best way to manage a team? And Tony, I wasn't sure what you meant by best way to manage a team. Team for what?
Website, Instagram, Facebook, all this technology stuff. I'm gonna manage the person that manages it.
Got it. Okay, so my quick answer to that is get yourself a good team that has done this before, done it well, and that you can trust in doing it. I've been referring a lot of people to the people that do the work for me. Basically, I've been training them. I'm trying to have them expand and grow their, the person who runs the team, she just had an operation. So she was in surgery and she's recovering. So I don't know that they're taking on clients exactly this moment because they're sort of regrouping. But my goal is basically to build a sort of back-end support for you guys, because I know that just like I need this support and I have people doing it for me, you guys are all gonna get so busy at some point that you're not gonna do it, or maybe you don't want to do it and it's just not something that you want to deal with. So the best way to manage the team is to hire the right team in the first place. So get referrals from people who've already worked with people, and make sure that they know how to do those things. And honestly, I looked for a really long time, so I know that can take some time to find those people. So at this point, I can refer some people. I can refer people to just do the social media. I can refer people to do the entire thing. And the best answer is going to be find a good team.
You will see it, and then you'll give me your feedback when you see it. How's that?
That sounds great.
I'll forward it to you when I'm ready to present it to the world.
Perfect. Yeah, and make sure to use each other as a resource. If you guys have questions, if you have your website, post it in our group. Like that's the only exclusive group that I have. The other MLC group, that's going to be, joined into the bigger group that we have. So share your progress, your questions in our own little group, and like, let's help each other. That's what we're here for. All right, so those were the questions from last week. Any other pressing questions that you guys would like me to cover before we jump off the call here? Jess, you're muted again.
How about now?
Yes, you're good now.
As a guesstimate, would you say the UPWs you were at were 50-50 men, women, 60-40?
Okay. That sort of demographic info. Based off all of the Tony Robbins events I have ever been to, and based off of my own audience, which is a very heavy Tony Robbins audience, I would say it's very much 50-50, and if not, like right around there.
Would you say then the same for Business Mastery as UPW?
I would say Business Mastery is just slightly, I would say 60 to 65% male to female.
Got it.
Yeah. Awesome. Any other questions? Tony, Tracy?
Great questions, Jeff. Neil, I used to work with Tony Robbins back in the day. I worked with him
wonderful.
for 2 years. So yeah, I was hesitant to answer any of those questions, but yeah, Luz, you're right on target. It's 50-50, 49-51. It's mind-boggling. Yeah, but he's a good person to start.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Tony, do you have any thoughts about for Business Mastery?
It's worth it.
Oh, no, in terms of the demographics.
I think you were dead on. I think it's 65-35.
Yeah.
Probably right.
I know my market.
Awesome.
Tracy, any other thoughts, questions?
Yeah, I'll just have to schedule the 45-minute session with you and then go from there.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Well, guys, you guys are making incredible progress. I'm so excited for how you guys are showing up for your businesses. I will talk to you next week. And until then, let's dance it out. I will see you guys next week.
Next Thursday.
It'll be next Thursday. It is, let me verify. It is next, I'm pretty sure it's next Thursday. Yeah, it's next Thursday. So the 3rd. Let's go ahead and close this out. I will catch you guys next week on Thursday. All right, and playing some, talking about Tony Robbins. This is what you came for. This Tony Robbins song. All right, bye guys.
Take care.
Bye everybody. Bye Luz.
Thanks everybody. Thank you.